don't execute these types of search warrants until they believe they have an ironclad case.
Put no padlock on my house. Ain't nobody never took no car. I still own all my houses, still own all my cars.
Respect.
Still got all my faculty, still sharp, still smart.
Floyd Mayweather has made a lot of money in his career. It appears he also owes a lot of money too. The boxer apparently owes $22.2 million in taxes from 2015. According to ESPN, the tax balance was unpaid as recently as March 6th.
Floyd Mayweather Jr., often regarded as one of the greatest boxers of all time, has not only been a dominant force in the ring but also a polarizing figure outside it. His flashy lifestyle, wealth, and controversies have consistently kept him in the spotlight. But in 2025, a new chapter unfolded in the life of the boxing legend that has captivated the public's attention. The FBI, in a series of investigations, allegedly exposed evidence that some believe could finally bring a potential end to Mayweather's reign of fame and fortune. As this new evidence came to light, Mayweather's response went viral, sparking debates, controversy, and intrigue across the globe.
I do know, which is where my disappointment comes from. When you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather, everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never gonna stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You wanna get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match, all right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that, it was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC, I get it. John Gotti III, I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to disrespect him. And yes, I'm being smart. I'm not trying to disrespect the grandson of a monster. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street or anything like that. Boxing is your thing.
Before delving into the details of the FBI's investigation and the new evidence, it's essential to understand the context surrounding Floyd Mayweather Jr., a native of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Mayweather became a professional boxer in 1996. And by the early 2000s, he had already established himself as one of the most skilled and talented boxers in the world. His undefeated record, flawless technique, and strategic mind made him a force to be reckoned with in the boxing ring. However, Mayweather's career was never without controversy. From his notorious lifestyle choices to his legal battles, he was always in the public eye. Despite all the controversies, his ability to command enormous amounts of money from his fights made him one of the wealthiest athletes in the world. As the years went by, Mayweather's financial success was often overshadowed by his frequent run-ins with the law. From allegations of domestic violence to questionable business dealings, the boxer found himself at the center of public scrutiny time and time again.
People hate consistency when it comes to teams that you don't like and not a fan of, and they constantly win all the time. The Patriots went through the same thing. Small example, I'm gonna just take boxing for instance.
Right.
Floyd.
Yes.
Everybody loved when Floyd was winning early in his career.
Yes.
But when he kept winning,
Yes.
he became the villain.
Yes.
And then everybody paying in and tuning in to see him lose. That's it. He became the villain.
The tipping point came when the FBI launched an investigation into Mayweather's financial dealings, his business practices, and his alleged connections to organized crime. The investigation, which spanned several months, focused on multiple aspects of Mayweather's life, including his tax returns, financial transactions, and business affiliations. The key to the investigation was the alleged financial irregularities that appeared to have occurred over the past decade. While Mayweather had built a massive fortune through his boxing career, there were inconsistencies in how the money was managed. The FBI's findings pointed to suspicious transactions involving large sums of money that were allegedly being funneled through offshore accounts, as well as connections to several businesses linked to criminal organizations. One of the most alarming pieces of evidence was the discovery of a series of offshore bank accounts that Mayweather reportedly used to hide significant portions of his income. These accounts were traced to known entities with ties to illicit activities, casting a shadow over Mayweather's legitimate earnings. The FBI's forensic accountants also uncovered discrepancies in Mayweather's tax filings, suggesting that he may have intentionally avoided paying millions of dollars in taxes.
How much money do you have in your bank account?
Which account? Which bank?
You have more than one account?
Absolutely.
I don't even have one account. Give me the amount of money you have in one of your accounts.
200 million, 300 million.
Dollars?
Yeah, in different accounts.
Stephen A. Smith didn't hold back. I've seen the documents. I've spoken to the people. I'm telling y'all Floyd Mayweather is in serious trouble, he declared, staring into the camera with characteristic intensity. He revealed that Mayweather is facing a multi-million-dollar lien from the IRS, has taken out loans against multiple properties, and is behind on several years of tax payments. To make matters worse, several of his business ventures have failed, and he's now entangled in lawsuits brought forth by angry investors. Perhaps the most alarming revelation was that Mayweather has allegedly begun quietly liquidating his assets, including rare luxury cars and high-end jewelry, in a desperate attempt to settle mounting debts. Smith emphasized the gravity of the situation by pointing out the sudden shift in Mayweather's public behavior, saying, "You don't go from bragging about spending $1.40 for $1 million in one day to suddenly going radio silent about your money unless something's wrong." The flamboyant boxer known for flaunting his wealth is now eerily silent, raising serious concerns that the Money Mayweather persona may have been nothing more than a rapidly crumbling illusion. Mayweather's issues with the IRS have been simmering for years. Back in 2017, he made headlines after filing a petition to delay a tax payment from 2015 until after the McGregor fight, claiming he had insufficient liquidity despite earning hundreds of millions. At the time, it was brushed off as a strategic move, but insiders are now saying that was just the tip of the iceberg.
You can trust the news. There's no such thing as fake. I'm working for ESPN. We're broadcasting the Mayweather-McGregor fight live. And to this day, they will tell you that's a record, that's the biggest fight ever, that thing was sold out. That place was, people were dressed up as empty seats, and I mean thousands of people.
No.
I bought my mother's ticket that day. That day, my mother decides that she wants to go to the fight. So I'm in there, and I'm telling the world that this place is sold out, because that's what's on the screen. And it's not even close. Yeah. This isn't like, oh, it's pretty much full. This isn't, there's thousands of empty seats. That was the first time that in my own life I ever just, wow, fake news is real.
Wow.
And then Mayweather, they wanted a rematch. They were begging. They were doing more media trying to get a rematch than they did leading into the first match.
Well, I mean, it's such two big draws. They promoted it so well.
All anybody's talking about.
Yeah, there's still a number.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter how big a draw is, there's still a number. If this guy got 100 million, this guy got 100 million, then you got to advertise it, promote it. You got to bring.
It's the guarantees that kill everything. If they were just getting percentages, then obviously everybody.
You're saying the seats were empty. I can understand it not making the money, but the seats being empty seems
peculiar.
Crazy.
Yeah, and there's nothing in the world where you have a pay-per-view hit that didn't have a live audience hit. Like if your live audience is your first focus group, isn't sold out, you didn't do pay-per-view numbers.
Sure.
But boxing will still claim that to this day. They still, to this day, claim that that's number one. And if you want to be the biggest pay-per-view in boxing history, all you have to do is claim it.
ESPN's Stephen A. Smith broke what may be the most damning financial news yet. Official filings indicated that Floyd Mayweather owed over $52 million in back taxes spanning a 7-year period from 2015 to 2022. The figure shocked both the sports world and financial analysts alike, not just for its sheer size but for the fact that it had remained hidden from the public for so long. According to Smith, the IRS had already begun to take aggressive action. Some of Mayweather's domestic accounts had been frozen, and a formal investigation into his asset trail had been launched. Sources close to the federal probe confirmed that this wasn't just a routine collection effort. It was a full-scale operation to determine where Mayweather's money had gone and what could be recouped to satisfy his obligations. Financial analyst Chris Wan weighed in on the situation, highlighting how serious such a move from the IRS truly is. Once you cross a certain threshold in unpaid taxes, the IRS doesn't just knock on your door, they camp outside it, Wan explained. They audit every transaction, monitor every bank account, and track every asset from jewelry to real estate. The IRS becomes an omnipresent force in your financial life. It's suffocating. One elaborated that individuals with debts this large face a brutal reality. Not only is their current income restricted, but their past earnings, expenditures, and even gifts to family and friends are all scrutinized. When Mayweather spends $1, the IRS wants to know where it came from and why it wasn't used to pay his debt. It turns every transaction into a potential red flag.
Well, there may be another reason Floyd Mayweather has agreed to fight Conor McGregor. ESPN reporting that Mayweather, get this, still has not paid his taxes for 2015. We don't know how much money Mayweather owes, but he's asking the IRS for a break. Until the fight, the end of August, Mayweather made about $220 million from his fight with Manny Pacquiao. That was back in 2015. He's expected to make about that much for the McGregor fight. Maybe he should stay retired and pay his taxes.
Yeah, pay taxes. Usually that catches up with you if you don't.
Even before Floyd Mayweather fully stepped into the persona of Money Mayweather, with diamond-studded watches, fleets of exotic cars, and Instagram videos flaunting stacks of cash, there were already warning signs that his empire was built on shaky ground. While fans were mesmerized by his undefeated record and his brash confidence, behind the curtains Mayweather was facing the same reality that top financial experts warn against. He was spending far more than he could sustain, even with 9-figure fight purses. Reports surfaced during the late 2010s that Mayweather, despite grossing over $300 million in a single fight against Conor McGregor, owed millions in back taxes to the IRS. It was a jarring contradiction. How could someone who branded himself as the richest athlete in the world be facing jail time over unpaid taxes? The truth was that the money brand had become a double-edged sword. On one hand, it secured him sponsorships, pay-per-view deals, and unprecedented fight revenues. But on the other hand, it compelled him to constantly project an image of excess, opulence, and invincibility, whether or not the math added up. In a desperate attempt to avoid federal charges and possible prison time, Mayweather reportedly borrowed $2 million just to cover part of his tax debt. It wasn't a story of smart asset management or a man who had diversified his wealth. It was a red flag. A boxer teetering on the edge of financial collapse, trapped by his own image. The loan barely made a dent in what he owed, and it exposed the troubling reality that Mayweather was asset-rich but cash-poor.
Eric B. will add, from Eric B. and Rakim, we were at the Mondrian. Floyd Mayweather was there. He had some tax issues. He was about to go to jail, but that's before Money Mayweather, that's Pretty Boy Floyd.
Got you.
He was speaking to E. He needed a couple of $1 million to stay out of jail. I called my man Neil, who I was rocking with heavy. He owns Scunty, the hair accessory company. Everybody thought I was crazy. They said, yo, loan me $2 million. I want to sign Floyd. He flew out, loaned me the $2 million, and from there on, we were in the box.
This wasn't an isolated incident. It signaled the beginning of a troubling pattern, leveraging his celebrity and expected future earnings to plug financial holes in the present. Instead of establishing a robust financial strategy, Mayweather doubled down on a lifestyle of decadence. He maintained multiple mansions in Las Vegas and Miami, purchased custom private jets, and filled his garages with Bugattis, Ferraris, and Rolls-Royces. All while seemingly failing to prioritize basic financial responsibilities like taxes, business liabilities, or sustainable investments. This obsession with projecting wealth rather than preserving it is what financial analysts now point to as one of the key reasons behind his current troubles. While his entourage cheered and social media followers marveled at his high-rolling lifestyle, his actual financial situation was deteriorating behind the scenes. With each flashy Instagram post, the gap between perception and reality widened. In fact, insiders have claimed that Mayweather routinely spent tens of thousands of dollars a week on gambling alone, sometimes hundreds of thousands in a single night. His affection for betting on sports was well known. And although he occasionally boasted about his wins, the losses remained private. Add to that his massive payroll, bodyguards, assistants, drivers, chefs, stylists, and more. You may start to see how quickly even millions can vanish.
The money I still got, the jewels I still got, the cars I still got, the mansions I still got. You either motivate it or you hate it. Either or, it doesn't matter. Walk with me, let's talk. I got 9 toys right here. I got the 488 Ferrari. I got the Maybach or the Maybach, whatever you want to call it. I got 7 Rolls Royces right here. I like to call it Lucky 7. So you either motivate it or you hate it. My lifestyle, Money May. I'm the money man. Remember that.
What's perhaps most shocking is that Mayweather's financial instability wasn't due to a lack of income. It was due to a lack of financial planning and the inability to scale back. His ego, built and reinforced by the money Mayweather persona, simply didn't allow him to live below a certain threshold, even when that meant mortgaging his future earnings to keep the fantasy alive. This growing pattern of reckless spending and poor financial decisions culminated in his recent troubles with the FBI. According to the allegedly leaked documents and informant testimony, some of the assets Mayweather claimed as liquid were, in fact, leveraged or overvalued. In other words, he was living off illusions, projected future fight earnings, business deals that hadn't materialized, and the assumption that his brand could continue to generate wealth indefinitely. When the FBI began to scrutinize his finances, they found not only tax discrepancies but also evidence suggesting that Mayweather had been engaging in questionable business practices to maintain cash flow.
Money Mayweather up until recently didn't have any money, so Floyd is the highest earning athlete in his career, making over $1.1 billion. And after making a killing, he ended up retiring in 2017. However, he dug himself into a hole after making super lavish purchases like this LA mansion. It was so bad that he actually owed $22.2 million to the IRS, which made him have to come out of retirement to pay that back. Like and follow for.
While media outlets, financial analysts, and boxing insiders had long speculated about Floyd Mayweather's questionable financial decisions, it was a bombshell from a former friend that truly stunned the public. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, a rapper, entrepreneur, and once a close confidant of Mayweather. Their relationship wasn't just about friendship, it was business. The two had partnered on promotional ventures, attended high-stakes fights together, and shared the same VIP circles. So when 50 Cent publicly accused Mayweather of squandering his wealth, the world took notice. In a now viral interview clip that spread like wildfire across social media, 50 Cent didn't mince words. Floyd blew through his money, he said bluntly. Jewelry, jets, gambling, strip clubs, it all adds up, and now he's broke. The shocking part wasn't just the message but the messenger. This wasn't a journalist or a disgruntled ex-employee. This was a man who had seen Floyd's habits firsthand. Someone who was once in his trusted circle. From midnight to 0:55 minutes of the now infamous interview on YouTube, 50 outlined the pattern of reckless behavior that had become Floyd's lifestyle, a pattern that the FBI is now reportedly investigating as part of their larger inquiry into Mayweather's financial dealings.
I believe that Floyd Mayweather has gone completely broke. And not just broke, but millions and millions of dollars in debt. And I know it sounds crazy to some of you out there, but trust me, I have legitimate proof. Watch this.
He asked me to help him, so actually I could stop them from using TMT as their logo right now. Because
you wouldn't do that because y'all cool again.
Yeah, I'm just not chasing it. But to be honest with you, I incorporated TMT in Delaware while he was incarcerated. Because he didn't sign the paper doesn't mean the corporation is invalid. So I could technically trademarks the term of it because his entire corporation is built up. So I could tell you, you can't have TMT socks. You can't have that TMT shirt you got on. He don't understand that because it's just not. I just said it and he won't be able to figure out that I could do that.
Damn, you and this guy, man. I thought y'all was good again.
We are good. I just don't understand why he having the conversation. How am I coming up with conversation? I don't even care.
According to 50 Cent, the problem wasn't simply the spending, it was the mentality behind it. He described how Mayweather would routinely spend millions of dollars as if the funds were infinite, without concern for taxes, long-term investments, or even liquidity. Whether it was blowing $1 million in a night at a Las Vegas strip club, placing six-figure bets on random NBA games, or purchasing another $300,000 watch he didn't need. Floyd seemed addicted not just to spending but to the spectacle of it. What made 50 Cent's words particularly damning was how they directly contradicted the image Mayweather had worked so hard to craft. For years, Floyd portrayed himself as untouchable, a man whose boxing prowess had made him invincible not just in the ring but in life. His "The Money Team" brand became synonymous with excess. But 50 Cent's candid remarks painted a different picture. One of a man desperately trying to maintain a facade while privately drowning in debt. These revelations didn't exist in a vacuum. They came at a time when the FBI was already scrutinizing Mayweather for financial irregularities.
Oh, what they're doing.
So there's still some stuff.
No, it only happens when it's fucking time. it's time to build some type of energy or some sort of press. It's time to make a fight, and then that happened.
So through the BX Fight Club, you met someone,
Isaac, right? Because they had to legalize it on paper to turn it into like a dark show, like when they don't have television involved with a boxing thing. Even Floyd, when you make yourself like we got issues over here, he's still the best fighter out there. Until somebody beat him, that's who he is.
Do you think he should step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money's going.
So the money's really going?
Yeah, that's what you think. It's get the money, spend the money.
All that money?
It took, it's been 2 years.
Day to day, month to month, like
I don't want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money's going. Trust me. Now it's like call him. He'll be at your, your local host in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
Wow.
Now, obviously, this is 50, so we have to take everything he says with a grain of salt. But that sounded pretty credible to me. Now, without trying to give away who it is, I have met someone who is directly within the Floyd Mayweather circle, and I can tell you with 100% certainty, he spins like an absolute madman. And I'm not just talking about a mansion and some sports cars. I mean multiple mansions, multiple cars, and not even just different cars, because he does have a bunch of different sports cars.
By early 2025, Floyd Mayweather was clearly feeling the pressure, not just from the FBI's tightening investigation but also from public perception that was shifting rapidly against him. In an apparent effort to rehab his image, Mayweather announced a significant charitable gesture, a donation to several homeless shelters in Los Angeles. The news broke across sports and entertainment outlets, presenting Floyd in a rare light as a benefactor, a man using his immense wealth for good. For a brief moment, it seemed like the narrative was beginning to turn in his favor. But the goodwill didn't last long. Shortly after the donation was announced, eagle-eyed fans and media outlets noticed something odd. Around the same time that the charitable activities were said to have occurred in LA, Mayweather posted photos and videos from Dubai, boasting about the luxury lifestyle he was still enjoying in the Middle East. The posts showed Floyd surrounded by gold-plated accessories, dining at exclusive resorts, and lounging in a lavish suite. The disconnect between his digital location and the alleged charity work in California was impossible to ignore.
This comes amid, rumors of Floyd Mayweather being stuck in Dubai because he owes people money. And, these are coming from trustworthy sources, Gervonta Davis, Floyd Mayweather, people who know about Floyd Mayweather's inner life. But back to TMZ. So they reported Floyd Mayweather was courtside for last night's pivotal Clippers vs. Mavericks game, but before money got to the arena, he was handing it out, blessing 3 homeless men with $30K. Now, there are no pictures, there is no video of this happening, but there is an official TMZ article, and TMZ usually gets it right. TMZ also said, we're told Mayweather began talking to the guys and decided he wanted to help, so he busted out his backpack and blessed each guy with 10 racks. This is the only photo they have of Floyd Mayweather being at the game. And once again, this comes as everyone is saying he is stuck in Dubai. There isn't any other photos of Floyd Mayweather in the United States except for this one photo. And then we have another article saying this week TMZ and Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked claimed Floyd had been spotted in LA passing out money to homeless people and attending the Clippers game. But then Floyd posted on Instagram and Instagram stories that he was still in Dubai. It says after Jason Lee shared a picture of Floyd sitting courtside at the Clippers game, Floyd posted a picture of himself geotagged in Dubai, and I believe this is one of Floyd Mayweather's most recent Instagram posts right here. It also says he then shared videos on Instagram stories of his Dubai.
What do you think? Has Mayweather finally met his match off the ring? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. For more exciting videos, make sure to hit the bell icon and stay updated. Subscribe to Boxing Hub now for all the latest in boxing.